Hey guys, it's another beautiful sunny day outside. I'm so happy the weather is back to what it was, at least where I'm living at the moment. But of course I haven't been outside. I have been inside reading the newspaper, studying off-call documents and finding out about the education system to make these videos and help you guys out. So in this video, I'm going to be going over and breaking down the £1 billion fund that the government have put together to help schools, help you guys get back on track. And we're going to be looking at, firstly, who that £1 billion fund is going to be targeting and helping, and vice versa isn't going to be helping so much. And we're going to be breaking down that £1 billion figure into what the impact could actually be in the future. So there's been pressure on the government for a while now to announce what they're planning to do in order to support you guys when you haven't had school for months on end. So what's going to be done to help you get back on track with the learning and catch up on the stuff that you would have inevitably missed working from home? And what's going to be done to bridge the gap in inequality that inevitably would have formed during this time, with lots of different schools having lots of different strategies, some having lots of work set, some having none, people being from different socioeconomic backgrounds and the poorer students being affected worse by it than the more affluent students. So this is the first indication of what the government are going to do about it. So I'm going to be breaking down a few key things about this £1 billion fund so you can work out if it's going to help you and the wider impact that it's going to have on, hopefully, the education system for the good. Now pause there for a second just before we go into the detail. I just wanted to say, if you are a subscriber to Beyond the Blackboard already, welcome back. If you're new, hi, I'm Ran. I do at least weekly content breaking down the crazy education system right now and helping you work from home, as well as a few other motivation stuff, helping you live your best life at GCSE and A-level. So if that sounds useful, please do like this video, subscribe and share with any of your mates that might find this information useful. First up, what is this £1 billion fund going to be spent on? Well, it would seem that the government wants it to mostly be spent on one-on-one tuitions for specifically pupil premium students, so the ones that are from lower socioeconomic backgrounds and probably therefore have been hit the hardest by not going into a school environment. And this £1 billion figure is broken down into two buckets. The first bucket is 650 million that is being given to schools so they can choose who are the most target pupils and spend it in ways that they see fit. The government are also offering 350 million in subsidies for one-on-one tuition. So what that would suggest is that the government are trying to incentivize schools to spend it on one-on-one tuition. So in summary, what that would suggest to me is that schools will be spending most of their extra money that they're being given on tuition for the most at-risk students that need it the most, with some wiggle room to spend it on other schemes as well. What year groups is this fund being aimed at? There needs to be some more clarity made around this point, but as far as I can tell, at the moment as it stands, the fund is aimed at from year 6 to year 11. So that, of course, if you're year 10 or year 11 watching this or around that area, you will be covered. Really surprisingly to me, if you're in sixth form at the moment as it stands, at the moment it looks like there won't be any extra catch-up tuition provided for sixth form, which to me doesn't really make any sense because you're at a really target year this year. You're at a really crux time in your life and a lot of you are going to need that catch-up, especially for instance if you're in year 12 and you've got your A-levels coming up. So I don't really understand this decision. There's certainly been backlash against it, so it could change. But if you're in sixth form and watching this, please do comment below and let me know how you feel about that and whether you think one-on-one tuition would actually help you or some of your mates out in this time. When is this fund going to start? It is currently set to start in September this year, so basically when you are probably going to go back to school. How effective will this £1 billion fund be in actually making change? Well, to answer this, I've looked at a study by the Institute of Fiscal Studies, so essentially they know loads of stuff about money and education, etc. and they've broken down a few numbers that might help us answer this question. So the extra money being provided is set to increase the school budget by 1% this year. And that 1% increase equates to about £80 per year per student in the UK. Now, of course, £80 per student is nowhere near enough to help you catch up with months of work that you've missed. That is 1.5, maximum 2 private tutoring sessions per student. It's not just not going to get you there. So that's why it's going to be crucial for schools to make sure they're targeting the correct students that need it the most with this. The ones that are at the biggest disadvantage, and where schools are likely going to start with that is the pupil premium students. The ones who couldn't afford private tuition otherwise, and the ones who would have fallen behind the furthest. And so bearing in mind there's on average 5 pupil premium students per class out of a class of 30, that 1% increase in the school budget should equate to a significant amount of tutoring time for those target students. So could this money have a positive impact? Yes, it could, as long as it's spent in the correct way. And at the moment it would seem like the strategy is that the individual schools have that autonomy to say where that they're going to spend it. I believe at the moment the details haven't been fully released yet, but that would make sense. The schools are the ones that are going to know the students the best and who need it the most, so it would make sense that they would have the control of where they're spending that money. What's the reaction been to this from experts and educational institutions? In general, it's been pretty positive. As far as I can see, there's been praise for targeting those pupil premium students who need it most, but there's certainly been backlash against not having sixth form and early years being included in this, and there's been an emphasis that this money needs to be spent wisely in order to actually make an impact. I've also seen concerns voiced that although it's definitely good that the most at-risk students are being targeted, there hasn't been a lot of information said about what's going to be done about students who aren't pupil premium, who have also been disadvantaged and fell behind. What kind of things are going to be there to support them, because that is also needed. But essentially, no, this seems to be the first bit of information and the first step the government have pledged to do in order to help you guys catch up. Alright guys, so I hope this was useful. Please do let me know what you think about this 1 billion fund, whether you think it's a good thing, whether you think it could be improved, or whether you think it's total rubbish. I would love to know, so just let me know down in the comments. And again, if you've enjoyed this video, please do like, and especially what I love to see is new people coming to this channel and joining the community by hitting that subscribe button and commenting and just getting involved. As you can see, I'm relatively small YouTuber still, so unlike a bigger YouTuber, every single new subscriber really does mean a lot to me, because it shows me that it's helping you guys and keeps me motivated to keep making more of these videos.